dark history of Canada's food guide, how experiments on Indigenous children shaped nutrition policy. If you skip back down to like here, that's crazy. Yeah, yes, there. It says government policies were creating conditions of hunger in the 1940s. Federal bureaucrats found that malnutrition widespread in indigenous communities and residential schools. Yeah. But this wasn't new information to many indigenous people. It was something that was planned. So let's talk about these kids and actually experiment how what a person's supposed to eat. I think based on tape, right? Says indigenous people had been arguing for a long time that their kids were hungry in residential schools, and that government policies were creating conditions of hunger in their communities. Says the Canadian government began to send researchers to examine these conditions.
Yeah, from Canada too.
Yes, that's it.
I hope Canada does become part of America. So Canada's listen to man. And it is. When you really listen, man, I'm gonna say this. Look at the map. You look at the map and then you look at where they actually live, you could draw a straight line across and Canada will actually be part of the United States of America, man. So it makes sense. I hope that Canada becomes the 51st state so that Canada can get hit thermonuclear missiles, because they did a lot of wickedness in Canada to our people, man. But they get away with it because it's like, oh, blacks are running across the border. Yeah. No, they were wicked up there too.
The Canadians are the nicest device.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds and shit.
It says researchers to examine these conditions.
Shalom. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory, praises, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom. Salutations to the brothers that's teaching this truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3 sincere listeners. Alright, Yahweh be in the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai be in the name of his Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Alright, this gospel, this truth, the kingdom of heaven is for the Israelites, who are you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and the ones scattered abroad, who may look like the other nations. Okay, but this truth resonates with your spirit. Alright, this gospel, this truth, the kingdom of heaven is for you. Alright, I don't know what I'm going to title this video. I might make it a part 2 to Canada was fucked way before Trump, but it doesn't really matter. Right, I'm just going in the spirit on this, but I wanted to do a video on this video that the brothers in London are doing, and the elder Kai Kwam had made a good point, man. Me being here in Canada, prophesying in Canada, you know what I mean? Like, we're a testimony against this place. Us brothers here, right? GMS Toronto, GMS Montreal, brother in Saskatchewan, or Yukon, I should say, Salakia. Right? We're living testimony against this place, Canada, because we see the wickedness that takes place here. Now, it's nowhere, I would say, it is like certain cities, like in the major cities, the wickedness is the same as Babylon the Great. All right, the major cities, well, the whole land is wicked. Let's just put it that way, right? And the brother made a righteous statement, like I said, because we're set up as a witness and a testimony against this place, and brothers can agree here that it does need a nuke as well, man. In Toronto, we have one of the largest happy parades. Okay, you also have one of the largest. We also have one of the largest Caribbean, quote unquote, Bacchus parades. All right, one of the largest Caribbean festival parades, which really goes back to Bacchus. All right, and that's held yearly here. I know London has one too. All right, but the turnout here is crazy every year. The city's just crazy, and not only just that, but there's just a whole bunch of wickedness that takes place in this city, in this country, so to speak, right? And so brothers here can attest that yeah, we need a nuke here, man. Whether it happens or not, but through the spirit, we see things shifting into this kind of Pan American union, so to speak, Norton Amero union, so to speak, and through the spirit, it might happen, man. Right? And it's all of the Lord, anyways. If it happens or not, it doesn't stop prophecy from fulfilling itself. Right? This is not going to deter prophecy, you know. But as the brother was reading here, the atrocities of what the Canadians, the so-called Canadian white man did. Right? And they like to parade themselves as just settlers. They were just minding their business and they just had to protect themselves. And through the act of protecting themselves, they had to take over natives, right? You fuck. All right? And you devils are going to pay for that, bro. You see what I'm saying? And so the brother's right. Fuck Canada. You see what I'm saying? Because of the wickedness that this country has done. Okay? You're trying to blame the United States for all the wickedness that you've done. I mean, that they've done. But the finger's being pointed right at you as well. Okay, there's no escaping the judgment of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? So I'm gonna play that part again. So maybe I can interject or whatever. Through the spirit. But yeah.
Government began to send researchers to examine these conditions.
Yeah, fuck Canada too.
Yes, that's it.
I hope
That's right.
Canada does become part of America, so Canada's gonna get listen to, man. And it is when you really listen, man. I'm gonna say this. Look at the map.
Right. And it is. Through the spirit, I think it is. Whether the Lord holds back the destruction winds of America. That's between. That's of the Lord or whatever. If He wants to do that, but a lot of places, through the spirit, they need to be leveled, man. They need to be hit. They need to be humbled. They need to be leveled through ICBMs, man. So the major cities in these different countries, they need to be leveled, man. Right? Or whether the chariots come through, zap them down. You know what I mean? Zap people individually. However the Lord wants to do it, man. But these, through the spirit, I said, like, any place with a tall structure, tall skyscrapers and stuff like that, it needs to get hit. Because that's just going into the pride of these devils, man. That's going into the pride of these devils. Now, when we become made anew, right? I'm not saying this is doctrine. I'm not saying this is true. Right? But for us, Israelites, right? We may or may not have some tall ass structures in our kingdom. Right? Because our body's going to be made new. Right? And we're not going to ever get hurt, injured, or nothing like that. So we don't have to worry about the impact, brace for a fall or stuff like that. Because that's why we were commanded to make things at a certain height. Right? You know what I mean? The Lord wasn't dealing with no skyscraper. You see what happened to the Tower of Babel. Right? And that's exactly what these buildings are now. They're just like, the Lord said we couldn't build high. Let's build higher. That's just like Esau's way of slapping the face into the Most High. Right? So let's get that. Actually, that's the spirit. Nest amongst. Let's see. Stars. Nest stars. Obadiah 1 and 4. Obadiah 1 and 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Who is that? Well, if you read verse 1, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God Yahweh concerning Edom. Right? Edom is you so-called white people. Right? Edom is your biblical nationality. All right, you're the Edomites. We're the Israelites. You're the Edomites. Okay. So the Lord says, "I have made thee small among the heathen; thou art greatly despised." Right, and really, you Edomites are small among the heathen, even in numbers. You just got it on lock right now. You're just running shit. You know what I'm saying? You just got it right now. It is what it is. But you Edomites ain't multiplying like that. You don't really get down like that. You know what I'm saying? If you have a child, you just have one child and a dog. Or right now, Edomites are just having dogs as your children now, man. Right? Or cat or whatever. Right? You got a plan. You got a plan for the future and plan to have a child on. Okay, this date, my wife's ovulating on this date, and if we try and to have a baby on this day, we can, I can strategically put my insert my penile phallic inside my woman on this day at this hour at 9 p.m. Just at 9 p.m. Anything before, anything past that, I won't be able to get her pregnant. That's you devils, man. You know what I'm saying? That's you devils, bro. Here it is, Jake praying he can get a bitch pregnant for real. Like, I'm saying, because Jake, and Ephraim, man. Ephraim gonna do it. That ain't nothing to Jake, though. Jake, we have kids, man. That's nothing to us. You know what I'm saying? So you out here talking shit, saying how, minorities. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You're the devil. It's all ego to make sure, prop up your numbers, make it seem like you're actually, bigger than what you are. You're nobody, man. The Lord knows you're nobody. We know you're nobody. You're mad at us because we're exposing you because you're a nobody. And we don't regard you. We don't regard you devils. You're idiots. You lack common sense. You don't have no fucking common sense at all. Actual morons, retard, idiots. Okay? From the lowest to the highest of you damn Edomites. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how much technology you create, man. You create technology to destroy you. Your own technology is going to destroy you, you fuck. How smart can you be then, you idiot? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Though that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, right? This is the point I was getting at. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? Because if that's why he builds all these tall ass skyscrapers, tall ass condos and buildings, and where he can work out of. And you see what I'm saying? Because he's proud. He likes to oversee things. He's an overseer. He's a quote unquote overlord, right? That's what he wants to do. Control freak, trying to have control, have power, right? But you have none, man. And if you do have it, the Lord give it. The Lord give it. The Lord take it away, nigga. All right, so get ready for the Lord to take it away when all that stuff ain't hitting, when the witchcraft ain't hitting no more, man. And the sacrifice, you're gonna have to be working double time or overtime on them sacrifices, man. All right, and you see that shit ain't working. All the sacrificing you're doing, all the sacrificing of BABIES, right? All that ain't gonna be working no more. The sacrificing of children, that ain't gonna be working. And you're gonna, sacrifice a family member. I don't fucking know, whatever the fuck, right? Sex magic, whatever you weirdos are into, all that shit ain't gonna be working. Demons ain't gonna be popping up to greet you anymore and commune with you anymore, right? They got you in a trick bag, nigga. So you're done. Okay? If these come to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? But they now have stolen, Salakia. This is the point. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, then shall I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Oh, that's right. And that was a point on that. Going back.
You look at the map and then you look at where they actually live, you could draw a straight line across, and Canada will actually be part of the United States of America, man. So it makes sense. I hope that Canada becomes the 51st state, so that Canada.
I hope so too, man. Through the spirit, man. You know, so this place needs fucking missiles, man. Canada ain't righteous, you know. So if the Lord allows it, land of North America, whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know, the missiles get hit here too, man. Just reshape the earth, man. Fuck it. We have the whole universe to explore after this place gets hit up with nukes. You know? And even with that, new lands will get formed on the earth. The earth probably will expand. Who knows, man? You guys gotta think spiritual. New lands will form. Earth expands through all the chaos and mayhem. Right? Just who fucking knows, man? And that's the beauty of this truth. Right?
Get hit. Thermonuclear missiles, because they did a lot of wickedness in Canada to our people, man. But they get away with it because it's like, oh, blacks are running across the border. Nah, they were wicked up there too.
Canadians are the nicest of the bunch.
That's right. That's right, because they say how the blacks and, you know, the Underground Railroad, they fled into Canada and stuff like that, right? But Canada had their hand in slavery as well. Okay, you niggas that went over there, you niggas found yourself in slavery in certain parts of Canada. Also, slaves actually being brought over to Canada to do work, right? So Canada is not off the hook for their involvement in slavery. Okay, the various prime ministers. I think Sir Wilfrid Laurier, that devil. Right? He was a known fucking slave owner, devil. Right? So you look at the origins of Canada, right? A lot of blood on Canada's hands. The slaughter of the Native Americans, the rape, robbery, and murder and pillage of the Native Americans, right? Slavery of the Southern Kingdom, the Judite, the Negroes. Not to the degree of the United States, but still to some degree, right? Shameful history that Canada has, and that's why all these things are happening now, because everything has to come to an end, nigga. All right, the fun is over, the party's over, the after party's over, all of that's over. It's done. Everything's coming crashing down. You Edomites are feeling it now. Jake still ain't feeling it yet because this is whatever to Jake. Jake been dealing with inflation, terror, spiritually and physically, because we've already been economically castrated. So we've already been down. So what Jake did is learn how to move without. Jake learned how to move with less and made it work. You Edomites, you devils, you can't do that. You're the devil. You can't do it. You're not resourceful. You know? You're pieces of shit. It is what it is. The Lord's not dealing with you. The Lord don't want you to really be around for this. That's why after the 1,000 years, you're out of here, man. We don't need you. You're whatless. You're a waste, man. We don't need you. You're done. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're done.
Reynolds.
It says researchers to examine these conditions of hunger in many cases.
Now I want to get another video. All right, subscribe, be edified to this channel here, to the GMS London brothers, GMS Fear the Most High 7 God. Subscribe, be edified to that. I just want to get that clip out. And I have another clip from Remnant Save 144 from the Elder Yashawamba. So subscribe, be edified. So I'm going to play this. And then I have another TikTok clip I'm going to play. And then bring out a few scriptures and we're going to close it up from there. And Lord will, you be edified.
And 18. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for the wide. See? For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things and shall not see the wide. See? So we are hoping for the Y while we're going through these straight things. See that? But the ungodly, they through.
Homes here in the United States, really serious. Killing you. I mean, it's not just hurting people getting sick. It's killing old people in nursing homes. Okay, that's why we have regulation. You teach a course in regulation, you understand, if you do it properly, that we've had a whole series of experiences, we in the U.S., and that has been mirrored by capitalist countries across the world, everywhere. If you leave activity to the private sector, what you are doing is making profit the bottom line. That's how they work. So we needed regulation because the end result was we're not all good people. Most of us are, but there are those amongst us who will be tempted, and then we'll have a cookie which kills us, or we'll have a wheel that doesn't work properly on the car. So we need regulation. Guess what? If you dismiss regulation, which has happened before, here's what has happened every time. Sooner or later, we have to put back the regulation. Why? Because of the underlying logic of the system. Why does every company tell us safety is our first concern? Why do they tell us that? Because it isn't. Okay, right. That's why they tell us.
Because it sounds good. All right. All of this sounded good to the American people with Trump represented, but now look what it's leading to.
Because we're all smart enough to understand. We know why they're in business.
Right.
They're in business to make a buck. Because we're in the business, many of us, to make a buck. We understand. And can you be tempted to do something that might not be? Sure you can.
I'd like to turn to foreign policy for a bit. Donald Trump has said that he wants to turn Canada into the 51st state. He wants to take over the Panama Canal, Gaza, and Greenland. He's already renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. You argued that this is a kind of 18th century crude colonialism. Why? At a moment like this, where the United States, from your perspective, has a weakened global position, would they take on such ambitious, ostensibly colonial activity as opposed to hunkering down domestically?
Well, if you study colonialism, you discover that most of the time, when a country began going overseas and snatching parts of the world, it was because of two things. One, it needed to, and two, it could. The United States needs it, and the United States can. It can't take over Europe. It's too expensive, too difficult. They're too rich, and they're too powerful. And they can't control Russia. They're learning that now, badly. And they can't control China. They've learned that now for 25 years. But what can they control? They can control Mexico. They can control Canada. Or at least they can make a stab at it. $1 out of $5 worth of food that you and I and everybody eats.
Right, and we'll go back to that. Hold up.
Comes from overseas, and most of that from Mexico and Canada. Energy comes. A huge portion of our energy is Canadian oil, gas, and so on. So these are basic things we need, and we're strong enough. They depend on us way more than we depend on them. We're a much bigger economy than either of them, so we can.
So just might makes right, just
Basically. And he's also aware, he's a good politician, he's aware that a lot of the things he's going to do are going to produce real tensions inside the United States between those parts of the community that are hurt and those that are not. Foreign adventures have always had that wonderful quality that we can unite our country in opposition to, in feeling superior to, in benefiting from, really, or by imagination, those other over there.
Let's talk about those others over there some more, because throughout this conversation, you've been talking about the BRICS nations.
Yeah.
How significant, as a military man?
So this is real good. This is a real good, interview. But I want to jump here.
This is the Nations Conspire channel. Welcome to today's show. Donald Trump has declared a national emergency. And of course, it's a national emergency because of something that Donald Trump pretended to start with Canada, even though Canada and America are working together to convince the civilians that is what is in their best interest as a North American Union. That's what this is about for anybody out there wondering.
Exactly. That's really what it is. They're not gonna let the peons know it, but that's really the plan. And pretty much that theater, this whole thing of Canada becoming the 51st state, that whole vibration being pushed out there, that is really pretty much their plan, their ultimate goal, but they just can't do it overnight, or else there'll be civil unrest in the streets. You know what I mean? But they've been poking, they're just pretty much playing with you people. you idiots in Canada, you have no fucking say. You citizens of Canada, you don't have no fucking say. You American citizens, you don't have no fucking say in the matter. It's not up to you. Your vote doesn't mean shit. All right? They don't give a fuck about your vote. It doesn't mean fuck. Right? The elites run you. All right? The banking families, they run you. Okay? It's a big club and you're not in it. Or it's a small club and you're not in it. Just put it that way. All right? But we're children of the light. We know what's going on. And we're avoiding all of this shit because we have a higher power to deliver us, man. You people are fucked. What are you going to do when World War III breaks off, man? You're done. Okay? We have a higher power to protect us. All right? You people are done, man. That's why you Israelites, you hearing the word of the Heavenly Father, man. You hear us knocking on the door. You see us on the highways and byways teaching, man. You need to repent, turn back, man, because when all hell breaks loose, ain't gonna be no breakdowns when all hell breaks loose during Jacob's trouble, man. All right.
The pissing contest, the back and forth, I've covered in recent videos on numerous channels that I have. This is nothing more than a show. Obviously, a tariff war only affects the civilians, but the reason they need to do this is because they can't overnight just have Canada become the 51st state. Donald Trump has been planting seeds about Canada becoming the 51st state so that people out there desensitize to it when it happens. And we're seeing the response to that as the MAGA sheeple don't seem to have the slightest clue about the North American Union. And that's all that this is about. They are trying to create...
And this been out years ago, the North American Union. I remember as a kid that this was being talked about. I you know, like in my single digit ages, you know, and I was just, you know, I don't even know why I knew these things. You get what I'm trying to say? But that was just the spirit, the Lord working on me then, so to speak, preparing me, right? I loved, like, in school, I loved history. I loved geography. You know, these were subjects, I don't know why I had so much affinity to them. But I know now, right?
A North American Union superstate. The United States of America, Greenland, and Canada. And potentially in the future, Mexico.
Let's get that in the book of Habakkuk. This is all prophecy, man. Ooh, so much. Oh, man. And speaking on those tariffs, this is the book of Revelation 6, before we jump.
I wanted to get this, though. Let's get, is it Numbers 35? I think it's Numbers 35. 33. Yeah, but let's get it in the NLT. And run it through that way. Numbers 35 and 33. This will ensure that the land where you live will not be polluted, for murder pollutes the land, and no sacrifice except the execution of the murderer can purify the land from murder. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to grab this after. Let's go back to that little map that was on here. All right, this land here, I mean, the whole world really defiled through Esau, but really this land, man. All right, Canada, the U.S., right here, defiled as fuck. From the slaughter, of the rape, robbery, and pillage, slaughter of the North American Indians, man. All right, and this land cannot be cleansed by the blood of them that shed it. Going back to what Rakiah Kwan was saying, the elder Rakiah Kwan was saying. You know what I mean? Because Canada, they're not off the hook in terms of the wickedness that they've done, right? You know? And it's a shameful spewing onto them, man. You know? Exactly. So the execution of the murderer. Who is the murderer? Is you Edomites, the so-called white people. We brought that out in Obadiah. All right? That's who you are. And you need to embrace it. You need to embrace who you are. You need to embrace your biblical nationality, Esau. All right? Before we have to make you embrace it. You better start embracing it now. Because Cause you in for a world of hurt in the kingdom, man. You wanna be rebellious and shit? It's over for you. It's over for you devils, man. Let's see. I wonder if this is. Oh, this is in the NLT. That's why. KJV. Let's bring it back. Maybe it doesn't matter, eh? But that's not really talking about us, is it? I mean, the heathen. Or is it? Let me read this. Yeah, it is. Salakia, brother. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're gonna use this one now. I knew this had to do with Esau. Habakkuk 2:8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil, right? So you were coveting after what the Native Americans had, right? After what the Northern Kingdom had, all throughout the North, South, and Central Americas, okay? The indigenous in the land of the Caribbean, man, okay? The land of Cuba, the Isle of Hispaniola, all right? And all the Caribs on the different islands, man, the indigenous of those islands. You covered it after what they had, man, all right? You couldn't see what they had and just keep it moving. They were willing to even share with you, nigga. And let us all get along, man. It's just, they showed you love, bro. They showed you love, Esau. And what did you do? You turn your back and you stab them in the back, man. All right? Because you're the devil, man. And that's why you need to remain the devil and stay the devil and be the devil. Okay? Don't try and save face now. There's no point in that, man. We're exposing you now. There's no point in trying to save face for all that. It's too late for all that. All right? It's too late for all that lovey-dovey shit. I'm your brother shit. I'm your other shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that other shit. It's too late for all that. You know what I'm saying? It's too late for that, Esau. It's done. You're done. All right? I'm your brother shit. You ain't my brother, Esau. You're not my brother, man. Okay? The Lord separated the nations, so it is what it is. He separated our seed line. You ain't my brother, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. Verse 10, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Whew, verse 12, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity. That's facts, bro. And how did you build this place, bro? Through blood, man. Blood diamond, right? That's how you built up this place, man. Through ill-gotten means, man. Skullduggery, rape, robbery, murder. That's you, Esau. What, boy? All right, so embrace it, though. Embrace it, though. Don't feel ashamed about it. Embrace it, nigga. Right? Let all that racism and hate flow all through your rotten veins, like Apostle Gabar said. Just let it flow, man. Cause we letting our racism flow all through our veins, nigga. Cause we don't fuck with you. We know you're the devil. But our racism don't mean shit, man. Our racism is just an opinion. You could actually do something with your racism. Apparently they want to bring back segregation now. That's a new thing going on in all throughout the black social media. Black Instagram, Black TikTok. I'm sure on Black X too. But let's read on. Behold, it is not of the Lord of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for very vanity. For the earth shall be filled with knowledge, the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and make him drunk, and also that thou mayest look on their nakedness, right? And that's exactly what you did to the Native Americans physically. Okay, you gave them liquor, you introduced them to, rum, whatever the fuck, alcohol, fire water, right? You introduced them to that, got them all fucked up. Okay, but not only that, now that you had us destroyed, not only the Northern Kingdom but the Southern Kingdom, you had us destroyed. Now you're out here teaching us, and we're open, we're naked, right? Because we don't have the laws, statutes, and commandments. We lost our heritage. Now you're teaching us to do wicked. Now you're teaching our people to do wickedness, and now we're drunk with your philosophies, man. Constantly sinning against the Heavenly Father, man. And it took a miracle, but really it wasn't a miracle to the Most High, because he already said he was going to wake up who he needed to wake up. All right, but it's a miracle to us. We're in the flesh, so it's a miracle, man. It's a miracle that we woke up out of sleep, man. And we know who we are. We know you're the devil. Okay, it's beautiful, man. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him, maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, right? All your wickedness, right? The cup of the Lord's Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Right, exactly. It's because now it's being exposed of all the wickedness that you've done, and you're not so great after all, right? That's why you have to take down different statues and rename certain schools, because it's named after devils, right? And it's a shameful thing that's happening unto you now, man. You're ashamed of your own history, of how you got these lands, and you don't want to teach your children, right? You don't want to make your children feel bad, so you don't tell your children how your people got here and what they did to get it and maintain and achieve it, right? But you should tell your children how you got it, and you should be proud of it too. Just be the devil. We told you, just be the devil, man, because that's what really do a 2/3 need. Jake need a wake-up call. We need the so-called white man to be the devil that he truly is, so you niggas could wake the fuck up. But you're not gonna wake up. You're really just gonna wake up carnally. You know, you might go out, do little crash out missions, and you're just gonna be like sacrificed through all the chaos, because you're not the elect anyways, right? But let's get this.
Understand this.
And this goes back into Canada was fucked way before Trump. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna play this clip, and I'm gonna close it up.
Because now all of a sudden Trudeau wants to unite Canada. Unite Canada. Trudeau. After calling people who didn't want to get the vax misogynists, racists. Don't you dare think you can get on that plane or train unless you've been vaxxed. That's the uniter now of Canada. Got it. So it's not your payroll tax, not your income tax. It's not the GST. It's not the carbon tax, which is going up again. It's not the land transfer tax. It's not the capital gains tax of 66%. Not the other hidden taxes that you don't even know about. Not about the fact that you have to pay every time you get a license renewal or ownership renewed or whatever in your car. It's not that. It's not that. None of that. Not the fact that MPs, one MP, for example, has a pension of $147,000 a year for life beginning age 55. Not the fact there's another MP who has a pension of $100,000 for working in Parliament for about 9 years, and his pension's $100,000 a year beginning age 55 for the rest of his life. It's not that. Not the fact that your money comes off of your paycheck and funds those things. Not that at all. Not the fact that there are no immigration offices open in Canada anymore.
but you can walk into. You have to either use the call center or email or snail mail. Not the fact that between February 2023 and March 2024, the federal government spent $100 million on 5,000 immigrant and asylum seekers in Niagara Falls alone. $100 million. Look it up. It's on the Canadian government website. Not the fact that they probably did that in 20, 30 cities across Canada. Not the fact that, they are spending money like they're like shit through a goose, that you don't know what MPs or MPPs are paying with their personal credit cards, and you're reimbursing them, and they're taking the affinity points for that. That doesn't impact you. None of those impact your life affordability. However, tariffs. All of a sudden, tariffs are now going to impact you.
Yeah, because you people are fucking idiots and morons. You don't fucking think. You see what I'm saying? You only get spoon-fed and fed crap, literal shit from the media, the mainstream media. And you don't think for yourselves because you don't have any thought. Anyways, you're bots, you're morons, you're peons. Right? You can't fend for you. A lot of these people that can't think for themselves, these bots, okay, that's what I call it. You guys are just bots again. You know what I mean? You're gonna be destroyed. You're the first ones to go. The elites, they actually want you idiots out of the way. You hear what I'm trying to say? They actually want you dead. The ones that are actually following the government to the T, they actually want you dead the most. Because you're a waste of space. What are you here for? What are you doing? Be a man. Right? If you're a man. Be a woman if you're a woman, right? But you know what I mean.
None of the things I mentioned, payroll, GST, carbon, multiple times you sell a car, you got to pay tax on that. Those things never impact your daily life on a daily basis when those are paid daily. None of those. But all of a sudden, Trump's tariffs are going to impact this country beyond your wildest dreams. Unbelievable. You won't be able to survive. It takes a special kind of person to sit there and listen to a man who called half the country racist, misogynistic, Nazis, deny the fact that a woman was trampled by a horse by the RCMP or whatever officers that were on those mounted horses in Ottawa. It takes a special kind of person to do a boob gate in the House of Commons. It takes a special kind of person to have their person from the Prime Minister's office try to persuade the Attorney General to look her eye a different way for the NCC 11. Is he alone in these kind of scandals? No. Every government before him has had scandals. Every one of them. Every one of them. This Prime Minister told Germany and Japan to F off and go buy liquid natural gas from Russia. So understand something here.
Right. And that's what you call economic, they call that an economic hitman, right? That's part of being an economic hitman, when you deprive a country from thriving based off of the resources that they have, when you purposely deprive a country from thriving based off of the resources that they do have. And Canada could be probably way above in all these things, but it's all purposely designed this way for you not to flourish here. It's like a fucking, Canada's a science experiment, man. Okay, for the elites. All these different countries are science experiments for the elites. What can we get away with here that we can't get away with there? How can we implement this and implement it here better? Because it's all getting primed for the Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? How will the people react? How will this and that die, right? So that's what's coming, man. You know what I mean?
We're seizing Russian assets, giving $5 billion to Ukraine, and two of our biggest allies in the G7, he said, F off, go buy your liquid natural gas from Russia. So we're taking $5 billion out of this country, giving it to Ukraine to fight. But he's telling Germany and Japan, you can't have our liquid natural gas. Do you have any idea how much that would have been worth for us? And lastly, I'll say this. This is the same guy. Now I'm hearing all the stand with Ukraine. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is the same guy a few short months back who said Canada stands with Ukraine and sending missiles deep into Moscow. Is Putin a savage? Absolutely. Make no mistake, the man's former KGB. He's their savage. Do you understand the relative danger a statement like that would put Canada in? Do you understand that ICBMs can go from Russia over the Arctic and hit Canada in 40 minutes? Rhetoric like Canada stands behind Ukraine to send missiles deep into Moscow, we can't defend that. We have to rely on our American cousins to defend us. Canada is in a very precarious position on the world stage right now. Canada cannot compete against Americans, cannot compete against China, cannot compete against India. We're a $3 trillion.
And that's why Trump is trying to roll on Canada to become the 51st state, because they position Canada to be weak, so to speak, in that situation, right? Could all these nations have built up all these Edomite nations built up their military? Sure they can. But that wasn't the part of the agenda. That was not part of the plan of the elites. You see what I'm saying? This is all done by design, right? So once you know that, right? Once you're in the know, you don't really give a fuck. You're just here. We're brothers in this truth. We're just here, right? It's not on us, man. We're waiting on the Lord. Whatever these devils do with their law, whatever the fuck, we're waiting on prophecy to fulfill itself. That's what we're waiting on. You know what I'm saying?
Dollar economy. China's about 18. And as a matter of fact, when Trudeau Sr. gave China the right to trade in the West, the first country was Canada. Their economy in China at the time was $110 billion American in 1973. We've given up our economic prosperity of this country to foreign countries. However, my point is, in 50 short years, because in 1973, Canada was 106 years old. Great infrastructure, booming economy, smart, educated people, great manufacturing industries, technology. Bell Canada was the wonder of the world. But in 50 short years, and this is a fact, it's hard even to fathom this. In 50 short years, in another third of our country's aging, China has gone from a $110 billion economy to an $18 trillion economy, and Canada has remained 3. So let's just think what that looks like. I put down $1, China's able to put down 6 for every dollar we put down. I put down 2, they put down 12. I put down 3, they put 18. Do you actually think your country is being damaged by Trump's tariffs all of a sudden? Like, oh my God, Trump's tariffs, the sky is falling.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point, man. You want to watch that, you go ahead and watch the rest. I'm pretty much done anyways. But, yeah, I'm going to end it off here. Lord, will you edified? And shalom to the next one.